Imagine you're standing completely alone in the middle of a vast forest. No cities, no phones, no music, no other people. At first, the silence feels peaceful, but after a few minutes, you clear your throat, you hum a random tune. You whisper to yourself, anything to break the silence. Why? Why do humans seem almost unable to stay silent? It's strange. Most animals spend huge parts of their lives saying almost nothing. They save their voices for danger, mating, or warning others. But humans, we talk when we're happy, we talk when we're nervous. We talk to strangers, we talk to ourselves, some people even talk in their sleep. Some studies suggest that the average person speaks thousands of words every single day. And when nobody is around, many of us still can't stop. That raises a question our ancestors probably never asked. Did humans always need to fill the silence? Or did silence itself become something our brains learned to fear? To find the answer, we have to travel back hundreds of thousands of years. Long before cities, long before language became what it is today. Picture a small group of ancient humans crossing an open grassland. Every sound matters, a snapping branch, a distant growl, the flap of birds suddenly taking flight. Silence isn't relaxing, silence is information. If the forest suddenly goes quiet, something is wrong. Predators often arrived before they could be seen. Ancient humans learned to listen constantly. Their survival depended on it, but something unexpected happened. Instead of only listening, they started making sounds of their own. Not full sentences, not stories, simple calls, clicks, grunts, rhythms. At first, these sounds probably weren't conversations. They were tools, a way to tell others, I'm here, come this way, run. Those tiny sounds change everything. Because one sounds could carry information, they could also build trust. Imagine hunting with someone who never makes a sound. You don't know where they are. You don't know if they're alive. You don't know if they've spotted danger. Now imagine another hunter who gives short calls every few moments, without seeing them. You know you're not alone. That feeling is powerful. Even today, hikers often call out to each other in thick forests. Divers knock on tanks underwater. Sailors sing, soldiers shout. The purpose isn't always information. Sometimes it's reassurance. The sound itself says, "We're together." Scientists believe this may have become one of humanity's greatest evolutionary advantages. Large groups survive better than isolated individuals, but large groups need constant communication. And communication slowly became something far bigger than survival. It became connection, but then something even stranger happened. Human voices started changing the brain itself. Modern brain scans show that conversation activates reward systems linked with dopamine and other feel-good chemicals. In simple words, talking can actually feel good. Especially when someone listens. Our brains reward connection because, for most of human history, being accepted by your group meant staying alive. Being rejected often meant death. No wonder awkward silence feels uncomfortable. Your brain doesn't always treat silence as peace. Sometimes it treats silence like isolation. And isolation has always been dangerous. This may explain another mystery. Why do people start talking to themselves? At first glance, it seems odd. But psychologists have found that self-talk helps organize thoughts, reduce stress, and improve focus. Athletes do it, pilots do it, surgeons do it. Children do it almost constantly. While learning new skills, you're not hearing madness. You're hearing your brain using one of its oldest tools. Language became a way to think, not just to communicate. But humans didn't stop there. Around campfires, something magical appeared. Stories. A successful hunt could be remembered. A dangerous place could be described. Lessons no longer had to be learned through pain. One generation could pass knowledge directly to the next. That changed history forever. Stories became invisible survival tools. And once storytelling existed, silence became harder to keep. Because every story created another, every question created another answer. Every answer created another mystery. Even today, millions of years after our ancestors first exchanged simple calls across open landscapes, our lives are still filled with voices. Podcasts during a walk, music while cleaning, videos before sleeping, conversations on crowded streets. even when we're completely alone. Many of us reach for sound, not because we hate silence, but because our brains were shaped in a world where another human voice often meant safety, it meant friendship, it meant survival. Of course, silence itself isn't the enemy. In fact, modern research shows that quiet moments can improve memory, reduce stress, and help the brain recover from constant stimulation. The irony is almost beautiful. The species that evolved by mastering communication may now need silence more than ever. Perhaps that's why complete silence feels so unusual. Not because humans are nosy by nature, but because every word we speak carries the echo of ancient campfires, dangerous forests, and the countless generations who survived by making sure someone, somewhere, could hear their voice. And maybe the next time you catch yourself talking, humming, or whispering into an empty room, you'll realize you're hearing something far older than language. You're hearing evolution itself.